Yeah. Right now I'm a egg, but don't really mind that. Um, I'm just basically making this video about like my experience with living with two women, uh, for 2 years. It was something like that, about like 2 years. It was from a relationship when I was in university. It's just basically my girlfriend and her friend that's basically like her sister. uh it was a very, eye-opening experience living with two women. Like, she's like short, 5'2", Italian, and her friend was Italian also. And it was like a snowed-in situation, and I was visiting her, like, I guess it was like a condo. And literally she was like, well, we're gonna be snowed in anyway, right? Like, so she just basically asked me, it's like, okay, well, do you want to just be here? And I was like, okay, fine, right? It was a trap. It was a trap. But like, seriously, it was one of those situations where I wasn't really, I don't know, I guess I wasn't really prepared, because most women always say like, oh, I feel safe around you. I feel safe around you, right? And for a lot, that's what they all say. But when they want to get extra benefits from that, it's kind of unfair to me, don't you think? When I don't really have too much in terms of like compatibility with that girl or said person that wants to kind of just be around me, or it's kind of like unfair. So I always consider this now, because like, if a girl wants to approach me and then say like, oh, do you want me to be like a roommate or something? And like, it's like, oh yeah, that would be cool. But it's like, I don't know what to really, I don't know what really to deny them, right? I mean, if it's not going to be a relationship, and then if it's also not going to be something where, hey, yeah, we are like in conversation with each other, and we are good friends, I can't really say much, because it has to be that if I'm going to date you, we're going to be compatible. So if you try to overstep that, then it's going to be a little confusing and a little for them, because I'm not going to be really too happy, It's like, it's kind of unfair to me, right? So I kind of always like want to look for a girl now that I do have things incompatible with. And even if they feel safe around me, a girl, just any girl, it's like, yeah, you can do that. But then, that there's going to be a limit to that. To be like a friend with me, that's going to be like your benefit, to be like, a cohort of safety, basically. But that's where it's gonna have to stop at. If you want anything more than that, then well, it's just gonna, that's where it's gonna have to stop. So just thinking about the situation where there was like a lot of emotions, a lot of situations where with these two girls, it was a lot of things that I learned about women in general. Of course, right? Oh my God. And to talk about like how different the female body is to the male body, clear as night as day, of course. Pretty obvious. But the funnier part is literally that we, there's a lot of, it's like, it's just nice, living with women is nice, but things can get emotional. Things can get very emotional. So I remember being in a situation where I was kind of crossed, where her friend needed emotional support, and being the guy there, I gave it. But then my girlfriend started talking out of pot. It's like, she was saying like, I don't have to worry about you two, right? And it's like, no, you don't. But what she then said was like, I wouldn't mind it if there was blah, blah, blah happening. And it's just kind of unfair to me, right? Because that was her friend, like her sister. They grew up together. Really unfair to me. Actually unfair, because it's not like I was asking for that. I was like, I didn't ask for that. I'm just kind of, I'm dating you, but it's like, you can't do that to me, and then just expect me to just like let that go and just like be okay with that. Maybe uncomfortable. Like she's talking about passing me off, like, not passing me off, but like, like if there was a situation where a join-in, she wouldn't mind it. That's what she was trying to allude to. Kind of made me feel uncomfortable. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for, like, I don't even know if I want that. Honestly, sounds messy, because now you're dealing with two women's emotions in a very relationship manner, because that's what you would be dealing with. That's messed up. And that's what I mean, where like living with women can be fine if there's no boundaries crossed, right? Because I do have my boundaries, even though I'm a guy. People are like, wouldn't that be what you want? And it's like, but you don't know how that's going to end. It does end bad. Oh yeah, it does. That totally ends bad. Yeah. So like, no, I'm not going to, no, no. All right. It's just kind of funny to me. I don't know. I don't know. Because in the future, when I live with my girlfriend, oh man, like we're all still young here, so like I'm gonna be warning people, like I have boundaries, okay? I do, and living with a girl, most people think like, oh, living with a girl must be clean. I'm the clean one. I am very clean. And so, because I'm very clean, it's like, it's kind of funny. Some girls might not be very clean. And then you have to pick up after them and then clean everything. And they might have different ideas what clean is. Like, her friend, she didn't really believe in, like, traditional or, like, store-bought, like, Dawn. Dawn dish soap. She thought about like some like organic this or that dish soap. I was like, no, this is not happening here. This is not going down like this. And so I was roommates with basically, it's like so weird. You don't want to be that guy, but you gotta be that guy. And I was cooking for them. I cooked dinner almost every night. I was like the stay-at-home husband. I would like fix the cars, both their cars. One time there was a situation where we were in Virginia, right? It was flooding, and then I had to like save both cars from flooding because it was gonna like flood in. And then I told them to move the car up the lawn, right up to our house, because it was like 2 years, so like we went from an apartment to a house together. And it was so weird how it was like, okay, you need to listen to me here, because it was kind of like a tense situation. You need to drive the car up the lawn and park it as close to the steps as possible. It's just like, kind of like, what? And I was like, well, do it. And then save the car. And I was like, well, see, look at that. It was just like, being the guy and then being the handyman, I don't need any type of like, this is where you get into the other part where it's like women against men. And it's like, oh, guys are like this and girls like this. It's like, but we're all human here. If a person has a good idea, the person has a good idea. No one's mansplaining anything. Like no one, it's just, there's a lot of problems there. There's a lot of problems there. But it's fine. It really is. It's just something I think about here and there as time moves on, and I go solo, and I'm about to buy a house now, so it's like I'm about to have a lot of extra rooms, and then like I will be able to facilitate roommates because I'll own my house. So I think about people who might need to be a roommate, and it's like, would I say yes? Depends on the person, to be honest, because all I'm going to be using is like the living room for my live stream, and like the living room is going to be blue because it's for the live stream, mixed reality stuff, you know, really cool stuff. And so it's like, okay, well, we're going to have to like have really like clear, you know, discussions here and there. And I think that's obvious. I do. But that's fine. That's something to think about. It's just something to think about. Yeah, whatever. In terms of updates, more things are coming soon in general. More music is going to come soon in general. As I wrap up here, my plan, I've done it. I've done my due diligence. I have a lot of other things, litigations to deal with. Oh my God. And I'm about to go to work. I just don't want to leak my location. That's why I'm using this VTuber. I just don't want to leak my location. Just don't, you know. Yeah. Yep. Okay, that's the end of that. Yep.